Last week I talked about the kind of nuts and bolts of the practice, all the ins and outs of meditation and breathing and all the different ways that we respond to thoughts. So this week I thought I'd do something a bit more Zen traditional, a bit more esoteric, and I'm going to do a koan out of a book that I've never used before in a Dharma talk, and it's called the Denkuroku. And basically it's 50 cases, and it starts from Bodhidharma as the first patriarch, and each case is to do with the life history and the enlightenment experience of each of the patriarchs. And for each one, there's a case, there's a circumstance which describes the person's life, and then there's a Teisho, which is given by Keizan, my namesake, and then finally there's a short verse. And when you answer these koans, you answer the case, and then you answer the verse, and you create your own verse. And this one, it gets a little confusing because each case is about a particular Zen master. But they aren't, in the case, they're called the master, but they haven't yet received them, they haven't yet enlightened, so it gets a bit confusing. They're called master, but they don't become a master till the end of the story. What I'm gonna do is call the master and call his teacher the teacher. I'm not going to use the names because they're Chinese and I can't pronounce them. So I'll save you anyway, you might understand them a bit better. So I'll read you the case. Okay. The 45th patriarch was the Zen master Daokai. I'll just say Zen master from now on. He studied with his teacher and he asked his teacher this: the words of the Buddha patriarchs are like ordinary rice and tea, but is there anything else apart from these to help people? And the teacher replied, tell me, does the emperor's mandate in his kingdom depend on ancient emperors such as Yao, Shun, Yu and Tang? The master was about to answer when his teacher struck him in the mouth with his hoshu and said, when you gave away to thought, you immediately deserved 30 blows, at which the master was what? Awakened. So a hoshu is that, I don't know if anybody's seen a hoshu, but no, it's like a horse's tail on a stick. So I'm not sure what the hair they use. I should know, but I can't remember. But it's like a horse's tail on a stick. You use them for ceremonial reasons, and also I think to get rid of flies. I don't know about that. Okay, so I'll read this again and see what you think. The 45th patriarch was Zen Master Daokai, and he asked his teacher, the words of the Buddha patriarchs are like ordinary rice and tea, but is there anything else apart from these to help people? So what do you think? Any takers on what was he saying? What was that about? Is there anything else apart from rice and tea to help people?
You're saying like let me in on the secrets.
There's maybe some secrets involved that he doesn't know yet. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else?
Can you repeat it?
Pardon?
Can you repeat it?
Yeah. The words of the Buddha patriarchs are like ordinary rice and tea, but is there anything else apart from these to help people? Right.
Is he saying, is there something else other than the spoken teachings?
I need you to tell me what he's saying rather than ask me.
Well, that's what I was. Change it to a statement then.
Pardon?
He's saying, is there other things than the spoken?
Yeah, that's right. He's saying, is there anything other than these apparently ordinary mundane teachings? Is there something else? If you were asked that question, if I said to you, my teachings, might say in this example, my teachings are like ordinary rice and tea. Is there anything else apart from these by which I can help people? What would you say?
Isn't food and drink enough?
Yeah.
Is the clue the word ordinary?
Ordinary, yeah.
There is no ordinary rice and tea, it just is rice and tea.
Okay,
And it's
which
just
makes...
rice and tea as it is.
Okay, so what does that mean about the rice and tea then? How does that change the tenor of the question if it's just rice and tea?
You shouldn't project too much of yourself into the rice and tea and compare the rice and tea and set it up as anything other than what it is.
Okay,
It's just rice and tea.
okay. That's an interesting perspective, but it's not the one I've got in mind. In fact, it's almost... If I got you right, it could be almost the opposite, which is great, because it's good to have the other side of the coin as well.
I was thinking that he doesn't really need anything special to help people.
Yeah. So what would be your response?
Just help people. Just do.
No. What would you, he said. What would your response to the master when he says, "The words of the Buddha patriarchs are like ordinary rice and tea. Is there anything else apart from this to help people?" What would you say?
My response would be,
Oh, you'd have a drink of tea. Okay, fair enough. Good.
I'd just say, of course there is.
You would say, "Of course there is." Okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Well, I think I'd say you have to help yourself.
You
I can give you the rice and tea, but you've got to help yourself.
You've got to help yourself. Yeah. Okay. Is that your tea or your rice? That's your rice, yeah. Okay. So the general consensus seems to be that rice and tea are fine with me. What about you? Why do you need more?
You always think there's something more.
Pardon?
You always think there's something more. You're not giving everything, you keep something.
Yeah, but is there more to give?
Depends on the if you give everything 110%, you can't give any more, can you?
Okay, what? This is getting a bit complicated now, because what is it that we're giving? What is it? You say there's more to give than rice and tea, and by rice and tea we mean this life. By rice and tea I mean my life and your life.
I'd flip it as I'd say that the rice and tea is everything that you need. I'm not saying it's not enough. I'm saying the rice and tea, it's just this, isn't it? It literally is drinking the tea, it's eating the rice.
Okay, so what more is there?
It's being 100% and literally drinking your tea, it's not having anything else with it. Kind of like what Neil said. Also what Neil said.
So are you saying that the answer's okay?
Yeah.
That rice and tea is enough?
Yeah.
Marty's saying it's not enough. He's greedy. Well, I'll tell you my response to this was, rice and tea are fine by me. I mean, what else are you going to give? What else is there? There's just this, There is, you don't need to gild the lily.
There seems to be a lot of koans with exactly that theme, isn't there?
Yeah.
I mean, the transmission of the sixth patriarch has been changed.
Yeah. He thought there must be something else. There must be some, and it perfectly reflects, as Moshi and Sue have expressed, which is fine, that all of us, all the time, think there's more. We think there's more, and
We think you're holding back.
We
think you're holding
think I'm holding back, or the Buddha's holding back, or somebody's holding back. There must be more than this.
But I would argue you need that, because why else would we be here? You need that desire.
That's right. Well, one of the things that Zen practice does is to create the gate so that you can discover there's no gate. It arbitrarily creates the gate. Because otherwise you don't, I mean, we all have the gate and we're not going to acknowledge it, but if it's like made really clear or a real blockage to your progress, finally when you discover there's no gate, it's more significant, it's real. So yeah, you're right, it's a con job. There's no gate. So let me read you what in the Taste Show he says. He says here, even though old Master Shakyamuni appeared in the world and the great Master Bodhidharma still lived, yet people should not rely on their power. When you just affirm and authenticate it yourselves, you will become it completely. Therefore, if you try to add some flavour when you explain the truth, you end up seeing it as another and do not escape plotting and scheming. That is why the teacher struck the master in the mouth with his hoshu when he started to speak, in order to show him that he was perfect right from the beginning with nothing lacking. When you gave away to thought, you immediately deserved 30 blows. This was a chastisement, not a confirmation. So what's interesting is later on he talks about, he says something about this was, I think Keizan was 11th or 12th century, and he's already talking about that even now the Dharma is fading. This was like 1,000 years ago. But 1,000 years ago, this person is saying exactly what we're saying today, that you're perfect as you are. And you're even perfect in not thinking you're perfect as you are, which is hard to bear. So let's move on. So, the teacher's response to the question was, tell me, does the emperor's mandate in his kingdom depend on the ancient emperors? What does he mean by that? His response to it was, tell me, does the emperor's mandate in his kingdom depend on the ancient emperors? Let's put it this way, do the policies of Cameron depend on Disraeli?
No.
No. They reflect his nature, his upbringing, his culture, his attitude. They're not to do with all the politicians who went before. So, how you are, how you behave, the way you are in life, the way you walk this path, this Zen path, is unique to you. You're completely responsible for how you manifest it and what you do. It doesn't depend on Shakyamuni Buddha or Bodhidharma or what they taught. You know that phrase, when you see the Buddha on the road, kill him? That's what it means. Don't have any concepts or ideas about the way you should be. Otherwise it's dead.
Sensei,
Yeah.
there's an interesting paradox though, isn't there, because Zen is very much taught through a lineage of transmission from teacher to student through the ages.
Yeah.
And the authenticity of that lineage is held up.
Absolutely.
And yet here the teacher is saying, forget lineage.
That's right, yeah.
It's authenticity now.
I know, and if you said to me, forget the lineage, I'd stand on the altar and hit you with my stick. So, yeah, I mean, whatever side we come down on, it's only one side. But you're dead right, there's a real paradox.
But in a way, Sensei, I mean, the whole lineage is saying, forget the lineage, isn't it?
Yeah. And at the same time, we chant the lineage and we respect the lineage. And the reason we do is because they themselves have been down exactly the same path as us, They've dealt with all the same issues, all the same paradoxes, all the same problems of how to lead your life. They're no different than you or I. But, you know, they did do it. So what he went to speak. The teacher then went to respond. I mean, the master then went to respond, and before he could speak, he got hit with the horseshoe. What would you do? How would you respond if I said to you, tell me, does the emperor's mandate in his kingdom depend on the ancient emperors? I asked you that question, what would you do?
I'm in for a beating whenever I think.
Well, you deserve one, Morris. You haven't made up for past lives yet.
This is a game of masochists.
Yeah, you're in for a beating, whatever you say, but what would you say?
Grab his horseshoe.
Pardon?
Grab the horseshoe.
Grab the horseshoe off him
Whack him.
and whack him. Yeah, don't ask me such a question. Okay, if you speak, you're going to get whacked. If you don't speak, how do you avoid a whacking then?
Do a bow.
Oh, you get one for sure then. Okay. I want to read you something which I really like, which is the oh, I know. I'll just do the verse. I'll just ask you the verse. See what. So, the verse is. This is Keizan trying to summarize the whole of the koan in 2 lines, and he says, "Even without cosmetics, no ugliness shows. We naturally admire the ornaments of lustrous jade bones." Even without cosmetics, no ugliness shows. We naturally admire the ornaments of lustrous jade bones. Anybody? How would you respond to that?
Is it okay that the guy wants more than rice and tea? But
It's okay. Did you
it's
say?
okay that he wants more than rice and tea.
What he's saying when he thank you, brave of you to speak. Thank you. But when he's saying even without cosmetics, no ugliness shows. So he's saying we don't need extra. You know, the rice and tea's fine. It's enough. We don't need a nice china cup and a bowl of sugar to go with it. Although milk would be handy. So how would you respond to that first line? Even without cosmetics, no ugliness shows. Even without makeup, Susie looks great. Yeah, there's an answer. Even without cosmetics, no ugliness shows. Can you want to throw in an answer? No?
No, I'm smiling.
Oh, you're smiling. Okay, yeah, great.
The beauty comes from within, not.
Pardon?
The beauty comes from within, not from without.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. So how would you express that with a more kind of poetic way?
In less poetic way.
No more. A way that reflects Neil's poetic nature.
Just
Okay, you could kind of go.
bristle with pride.
Pardon?
Bristle with pride.
Yeah, okay.
A rose needs no glitter.
And rose needs no glitter. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, it's not kind of poetic though, that is it. Can you make it a bit more florid? Okay, yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice, so, yeah. Okay, let me read you what Keizan's rather inspirational speech at the end. He says, "Now I, Keizan, as Dharma descendant in the 9th generation, am prematurely preaching the teaching of our tradition. My daily activities are poor examples for my successors. My attention to the 4 kinds of deportment wanders completely. How can I face 3 or 4 monks and give a talk, or a phrase, or even a half phrase? It is shameful, it's terrible. There's no place for me to hide from the glances of our ancient patriarchs, or the penetrating looks of former sages." To be a Zen master in those days, you had to be incredibly humble. Although this is how it is, you should be grateful to be distant descendants of Zen master Daokai, and to be in the family of the school of Eihei Dogen. You should clearly discern the realm of mind and thoroughly take care of it. Without a hair of interest in fame and fortune, and without an atom of pride or conceit, settle your minds and govern your physical actions. Reach what you should reach, penetrate what should be penetrated, and settle the business of your life practice. Do not forget what you have inherited from former patriarchs. Follow in the footsteps of former sages. Meet the former awakened ones eye to eye, and despite the decadence of these final days of the Dharma, you will be able to see a tiger in the marketplace, or perhaps even find gold under your own hat. This is my greatest prayer and my earnest hope." Isn't that very nice? His greatest prayer and his greatest hope is that you will find a tiger in the marketplace or gold under your hat. What does he mean by that? Tiger in the marketplace or gold under your hat?
What's right in front of you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know exactly what it means, but it feels like find freedom in the marketplace, find, your own wildness, if you like, as a tiger. And the gold under your hat to find your own treasure. Yeah. Have you got a treasure hidden? Okay. So anybody we're going to finish any second, but if anybody wants to wrap up with any comment or question or...
Just as you're talking, those beautiful carnations inside of you, and just thinking about just the rice or tea, we could say, well, they're just flowers. Just accept they're just flowers.
Yeah.
But it's actually they're perfectly doing.
I know
what they do.
It's amazing, isn't it?
More than just.
Yeah, they are. They're just doing their thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
I always think I don't know why it's always with roses, but it could be any flower. You know when roses grow by a wall, and there's a couple that kind of out in the sun, and there's a couple near the wall that don't get much sun, and they're always a bit shrunken, and they never complain. They still have thorns on them as well, so they don't want to be picked. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, thank you.